This is a story we've told you about at the top of this newscast. In the courtroom tonight, a jury is still working to determine the sentence for Lance Phillips. Earlier today, that same jury found the son of a Smith County commissioner and the county clerk guilty of hindering a meeting earlier this year of the Smith County Commissioner's Court. KLTV7's J.D. Conti has been in the courtroom all day long and has the very latest.
Guilty of hindering proceedings by disorderly conduct as charged in the information.
A public comment that turned into a trial. Lance Phillips, the son of County Clerk Karen Phillips and Commissioner Terry Phillips, was slotted to speak during the January 2nd Smith County Commissioners meeting. The agenda item, overtime pay for employees of the District Attorney's Office. Lance began to speak on an alleged investigation into the DA's office. That's when County Judge Neil Franklin cut him off.
I made the determination that he was veering off the subject. The only thing that he said was district attorney, and just because it has the district attorney words in there, I made a determination that he was veering off.
Lance's lawyer argues he was on topic. Phillips was alluding to a motion made by his friend Cody Voss, a co-defendant in another case. That motion was admitted into evidence. It requested a stay in his case and an investigation into several employees at the DA's office. Only the stay was granted. This motion was read to jurors. The prosecutors say the charges stem from when Lance returned to his seat. He continued to speak and disrupt the meeting.
What's the difference in the 4-year-old or the 5-year-old and the man sitting right over there? Well, I'll tell you. He's 40. He may act 4 or 5, but he's 40.
The lone witness for the state in the punishment phase, Constable Josh Doplin. He testified to a 2023 incident when Phillips ran out of the JP4 courtroom after being held in contempt. The state asked for prison time to send a message that Phillips' behavior will not be tolerated, while saying it may not change anything.
Whatever you end up giving him, it ain't going to change him not one bit. The only person that's going to change him is God and himself.
With the defense asking for probation, noting the irony it would provide.
My client has sort of a distrust and a lack of respect for me and government. So you know what the greatest punishment would be? Subject him to the control of government.
J.D. Conti, KLTV7 News.
Now, the charge here is a Class A misdemeanor. We do have a reporter in the courtroom, and we'll bring you that sentence as soon as we have it by way of our KLTV7 News app. Well, we're learning more tonight.